capital flows, international reserves, hypothetical scenarios, factors affecting CBDC and global stablecoin adoption. What are CBDCs and global stablecoins? So, these are the topics they are going to discuss in this one. Previously, the system is like this. A central bank will be existing, domestic payment system, bank, non-bank. This is a central bank system doing payments up to now for any country if you take. This is deposit based. You have to deposit money in that banks. Also country B, if you take another country, central bank means like Reserve Bank of India, domestic payment system, bank, non-bank. This is how the funds will be flowing from domestic payment system to domestic payment system. But now the future is like this. New networks and means of payments are adjusting. Everything will be having only ledger system. There is no bank. This is a ledger. This is a ledger. This is a ledger. From each and every ledger, we are going to exchange our transactions and make P2P transactions, choice of deposit based and token based systems. Because all the global stable coins are having token systems. From that, they are going to mine their coins. From that, they are making payments. I think we are all know very well about these things. Digitalization has the potential to disrupt existing equilibria of cross-border use of currencies. Some of the attributes these new forms of digital money could drive adoption in ways that are distinct from existing dynamics. And the lower transaction costs by reducing reliance on banks, widen access to services, promote financial inclusion through the mobile devices, and open the possibility of complementary services. How the policymakers are developing their policies also here they have been discussed. And what are central bank digital currencies and what are global stable coins? Some people are asking how many types of global stable coins are existing. Here it was given clearly. Look at these. Central bank digital currencies are a digital form of fiat money issued by a central bank, and they have categorized what are the different types of digital money existing in the future from today onwards. For what the IMF has given permissions. So it is very exhausting, we just feel very proud of that. Why? Because IMF has given permission for that digital money categorization also. This was given on which date? Look at here. October 2020, recent edition. So they have given these details in this recent edition. What are the different forms of digital money? Central bank digital currency is one of the form. Private digital money. What is meant by private digital money? We will look after that. Which is defined as a widely accessible form of fiat money that could be legal tender. As per the norms of 2018, here it is given. In 2018 itself, they have given some list and a group of 30 digital coins or stable coins formed in 2020. What does it mean? They have listed 17 stable coins in 2018. Coming to 2020 report, they have listed out group of 30 clearly given here. See that. Group of 30 global stable coins are there. So a type of private digital money, not the central banks issued digital money. It is all related to private technical companies are issuing 30 group of global stable coins are considered up to now. So a type of private digital money issued by big techs means big technological industries are issued these 30 global stable coins. I think some people are asking how many types of global stable coins are existing. As for the report given in 2020 October, that is 30. So stable coins may differ from traditional e-money schemes as they do not necessarily guarantee redemption. A pre-established face value denominated in the unit of account, while stable coins are grouped here. So it's clearly given. They have grouped here all the stable coins. So they have given all the list. For convenience and for expositional purpose, as a form of digital money does not mean that they are formally considered currency or money by IMF staff. So what they have concluded? They have grouped some stable coins. So the number is 30 as per the report of 2020. October 2020, they have grouped 30 stable coins. As per the norms of 2018, they have given 17. So in this, they have given permissions also. Just here what the IMF is considering. Here clearly given, the source is International Monetary Fund. In private digital money, first generation crypto assets covers only Bitcoin. Only Bitcoin. First generation crypto covers only Bitcoin. And next generation will comes under stable coins. Means they are all maintaining some commodity backed or cryptocurrency backed, and some are fiat backed stable coins. These are the three different types of stable coins existing in the market. And third stage, we are in third stage now, global stable coins. So anywhere in the world, these global stable coins are acceptable. They are used as means of payment. Wow, we are at this third stage. The source is IMF. Got it? I think you're all having clear idea about this. New forms of digital money given by IMF. Okay? So central banks are trying, but here it is given, big techs appear to be poised to issue global stable coins. Is it? Big technical industries are issuing global stable coins. So one coin comes under big technical industry working from 2014 September onwards. They are also having commodity backed e-commerce deal shaker platform. So one coin comes under third category. It is a commodity backed stable coin, not fiat backed, not crypto backed stable coin. So here it is given in IMF report also. Wow. Then how they are making payment infrastructures and payment instruments, in this they are given. Here you can see payment instruments. Okay, things are okay, happy. Global stable coins are okay, and stable coins are also okay for the payment purpose. And how they are going to make payment? What are the conditions they have given? What are the legal things these global stable coins should be satisfied in order to make payment? So these things we will discuss. Okay friends, in my next video. Thank you.